I want to show you the exact trading strategy when I had nothing left. No savings, no confidence, and no idea if this trading game would actually work for me. This isn't a strategy that I learned from a book or from a course. This is from 2 years of losing and forcing me to find something that would stop me from losing, get me out of that, and make me start winning in the market finally. This is a setup that was built when everything was stripped to zero and I had to rebuild from there. Until today, I still trade this setup. So let's discuss it. By the time I found this setup, it was just a mess. I had tried multiple different strategies, multiple different indicators, multiple different time frames, styles of trading, scalping, swing trading, and as you can probably guess, it just didn't work. By that point, I lost a significant amount of money for me at the time. And I didn't really have money that I could just blow freely to keep trying to figure this out till it actually happened. So whatever my next step was gonna be, had to be impactful, had to be something that would actually push me to make a difference in my trading. The crazy thing is what finally clicked for me and actually started to make me profit in the market wasn't something very complicated. It was something that I actually saw happen every single day on the chart. Funny thing is, I just didn't click to be able to take it because I was overcomplicating it. So today I want to break down the exact thing that I saw and show you guys how I do it step by step. So the main problem when I started trading wasn't the strategy, it was simply me. I would come to the market, chase highs, try to figure out how I'm going to enter in the market, end up hesitating on an entry, and then all that would happen is I'd end up failing, right? The position wouldn't play out, it would end up going to stop loss, and I had to figure out what I was doing wrong. One of my favorite setups was a breakout setup, meaning that I'm looking for price to break out a level. Now, you've probably heard that many times or watched one of my breakout setups on my channel, but a breakout setup wasn't exactly the main setup that I took when it came to getting me over the line to be profitable. Reason being, whenever I would start to chase the market at highs, such as this, when we look at the market here, as soon as I would chase the market at highs, I would normally lose at the highs because I wasn't ready and I didn't understand enough how to take a breakout setup. So what I'm about to explain is almost like a breakout setup, but it's a modified breakout setup that I used in the beginning and use till today to make sure that I'm not putting myself in that emotional standpoint of chasing highs and end up buying the high of the day, just like I probably would have done back here, buy the high of the day, end up going straight to stop loss. So we're going to discuss exactly what the model is and how it works. So the first part of the model is we want to make sure that we're showing up to a session. When I first started, I picked only one session, which was London session at the time. It doesn't matter if you trade New York session or London session, but you want to be trading during one of those sessions so we can guarantee that we have volume. Essentially, what we want to look for is we want to look for some form of trend. The best way to check trend is simply going on the higher time frame. I later developed my strategy to find biases, but in the beginning it was all about finding trend. So I'd look at, okay, I'm trading on a 15-minute time frame. This is what this entry was based off. I'm going to go to daily and just look at what daily is doing. If I see green candles going up, that must mean that price is more bullish. I checked the same on 4 hour. As we can see here, 4 hours started to create supports. This is super important. Although we're going down now, that doesn't matter. This candle hasn't closed. Look at the candles before. If they're also moving green and price is showing you it's going up, this is going to support. The next stage is going to the 1 hour. What you want to see is price moving up, moving down, potentially moving up. We go to the 30-minute. We want to see the same type of momentum, which is going to be called higher highs, higher lows. They're basics in market structure. We want to see that. We want to see that. It doesn't matter if it goes high, consolidates for a while, then goes higher. We just want to see that price is continuing in a direction. It could be doing the same for the downside. Once we understand this about the model, instead of buying the highs, meaning that we look for price to break out of a level like this, and then we take a buy something like this, which is a common breakout, which ends up going into stop loss, right? Such like this, you only get 40 points. You put your stop loss below here, you're stopped out. Although breakouts are very effective, but not in this standpoint because there was a lot of things wrong like this. The next thing we do is we want to drop to the 15-minute time frame. Once we drop to the 15-minute time frame, these type of pullbacks is exactly what we want to see. This is exactly what we want to see. And what we want to search for in this type of pullback scenario is we want to search for some form of consolidation. In this live example here, there's no consolidation formed yet. I will show you a few examples of where consolidations have formed and how the setup has been. I will also show you it in a replay standpoint so you can see. This is setups I've been taking live on my live stream that I do. You can check my live stream if you subscribe to my channel. And I go live twice a week and show you this. And I've lived over 1,000 streams doing it every single day of taking this similar setup, right? So in terms of validation of the setup, it definitely works. And this is a setup that got me out of a very dark patch when I just simply did not make any money trading. So instead of buying highs, I've allowed price either in Asian session, if I'm trading London, or in London session to pull back. So we can see we're about late London now. This is coming deep into London. We can see we're starting the pullback here. What I need next, so we've identified 4 hours bullish, everything, is I need to see a consolidation form, okay? Once a consolidation form, that's going to give me something that I can break out of. But instead of buying to new highs, I'm buying to highs that have already been made. Now, how are we going to define a consolidation? So I'm going to go show you a few consolidations. Consolidation needs around 4 15-minute candles minimum. So what we need, and it doesn't matter how it forms, but it needs 4 15 minutes. And of course, you have to have a candle that's bearish. So let's check this consolidation. And you can see how this basically almost worked here as a breakout setup. So we have one candle to start, second candle bearish, 2, 3, 4, fifth candle close above. That is exactly the same thing we want. Now, consolidations could be way bigger, but minimum I want is 4 candles. So if we go back and we look at something beautiful like this is a nice consolidation here before the breakout. That's exactly what we want to see. This is a good consolidation as well. This is a great, look at this, good consolidation here, what we want to see. The issue with all of these is that we are buying highs. And when we buy highs, that is maybe where the price can fail. So I'm going to show you some examples of exactly the consolidation and the setup together because we are looking for price to pull back. So let's see an example so we can put this together. So right in front of you here, this is actually a setup. To most, it will look confusing, but I'm going to explain exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing price give us a very sharp downside move. That is that trend, right? Showing us sharp downside move. What we want to see is we want to see some sort of pullback and then some sort of consolidation, right? So what we get here is we finally get some form of pullback here, right? So we get the first pullback that comes into here. But the difference here is now we started to change trend towards the upside. So we want to make sure that price is in a downtrend. This is not a downtrend. This is higher highs, higher lows. So I'm picking a complex example to show you. It's a very simple setup, but I want to make sure that I've covered all angles and give you the most amount of detail possible. So what we see here is now we see price pull back here. We start to give a deep pullback, but this now breaks this structure towards the downside. So now we start to form. Instead of selling lows here on the breakout, we wait for a pullback. And now check this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Next one closes below. That's going to trigger your sell setup here as we get a close below support here. Okay, so we're going to get a close below support like this. Boom. Price closes below. Stop loss goes above the 15-minute high. Your first target is going to be the support that was created for a nice 1-to-1. And then you can target lower. I'm going to scroll back here and we're going to see different examples of that. So here's another beautiful example of that. Price is pushing up here. We don't buy the highs breakout. We wait for price to pull back. We need a consolidation. This becomes your consolidation period. And then all we need is price closing above that consolidation. So that's the same example made simply on now an upside move. So now we can take this as a long position here, right? Now, this is interesting because we put our stop loss below the 15 here for 42 points. If we target the highs here, we don't get a 1-to-1. So instead of closing at here, you just put your stop loss to entry so you don't lose anything, right? And then you see if price can have the volume and you can see how effective these are. If you tried the breakout trade here, it would work today, but you wouldn't get as much as that trade, right? We can go and see the same example literally back here. Don't buy the breakout. We wait. Consolidation, 1, 2, 3, 4, close above. How many do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. Then it closes above. Then we get continuation. That is the basis of this setup. So that is the setup that saved me because it taught me how to avoid buying highs. The crazy thing is, if you want to be a profitable trader, you will need to learn how to trade breakouts because some days the market likes to consolidate and break out. Consolidate and break out. So being able to be a trader that is versatile and trade both breakout scenarios and be patient is going to be very useful in your agenda. So make sure to subscribe to my channel or check out the description for more details on things that can actually help you get better at this game and if you're interested in taking it a step further. Thank you very much and hopefully you enjoyed this video.